These are my Premier League Game Week 15 predictions. There are plenty of big games this weekend, and I've put up a few shocks here as well. So get in the comments, let me know if you think there are any surprises. Let me know if you agree with my predictions as well. We'll get straight into it because there is so many talking points with every single game coming up. Players coming back, players that are out form of certain clubs, and that is definitely the case with our first game, Villa Park, Villa versus Arsenal. Look at that head-to-head record on your screen right there. It's a win apiece and a draw in the last three. The two form teams in the league. Villa going into this 8 wins in the last 9 in the Premier League. Staggering. How in the first few games of the season they've not even scored a goal. Now they're banging goals in for fun, straight off the back of coming back from 2-0 down away to Brighton and beating them. They are third and could close the gap to Arsenal to 3 points if they beat them. And the title race is open. Where did Villa come from, by the way? And how is this the case right now? It just shows you done it. A few wins can propel you up that table. And well done to Villa and Unai Emery. They deserve to be there. That form is absolutely spectacular. But the bookies have it as a 49% chance of an Arsenal win here, ahead of a 23% draw and 28%. 28% draw and 23% win for Aston Villa. That is ridiculous. It really is astounding that. And I just can't see how they've got that with the form that Villa are in at home as well. Tough one to call this one, but I'm going to go with the shock, or what people would seem as a shock. I think Villa are the form team. I think the gap is being closed. Villa are going to win 2-1, and Rodgers is going to score a goal in this one. That is my bet, and that's what I see happening in this one. Moving on to the next game, which is another tough one. Only it should have been a tough one for Chelsea, but look at the state of Bournemouth's form. Good God. Saying that, though, Chelsea have just been smashed 3-1 by Leeds the other day. So Bournemouth might fancy the chances here. Chelsea need a win to go back in there and really solidify top 4 at the moment. They can't really be slipping away. I think they've got Cole Palmer coming back now, which is why I've got Palmer to score in this one and Chelsea to sneak it 2-1. They need a bounce back after an absolutely horrendous performance against Leeds. Every single Chelsea fan saying the same thing. It is a happy hunting ground for Chelsea. They won there last season, so got form there as well. And it's 2 wins from the last 3 for Chelsea in this one. The bookies are going with the win away from home as well. And I think this all pushes towards, because of that Bournemouth form, a Chelsea win. So, yes, I think Cole Palmer being back is going to be a massive difference. I think they'll have their side set up. They've been made a lot of changes against Leeds. So, I think that this one is set up to be a Chelsea win. Bournemouth just look like they're on the slide at the moment. Whether or not they can turn out one of their masterful performances at the Vitality, I don't know, is the honest answer. I can only see a Chelsea win at the moment, and that's why I've gone with 2-1 and Cole Palmer to get the goal. On to Everton versus Nottingham Forest, the next game in here. Both teams that have come back with decent wins this week, and I feel will be buoyed going into this game. Very similar records, in fact. It's exactly the same in terms of points over the last 5 games. So, tough one to call. Away form for Forest, questionable. But turning the corner on the Dyche. Home form for Everton, good. Up until they got smashed last time out by Newcastle. So, again, 44% on the bookies going with the home win. Interesting one, this one. Very, very interesting. Not much to split these two sides. If Forest get the win, then they only go 3 points behind Everton, who are in 10th. And Forest are climbing, and climbing fast. Can Everton stop the rot? Can they get back to them winning ways and bring back that form again? It was a slip-up, and a really bad slip-up against Newcastle, which was out of character completely. I think they get back to form in the league. I think they'll get 2 goals, but I think Forest have got a steeliness about them as well now. I think that Forest will hold their own here. I'm going with 2-2. I think it's going to be a stalemate. I'll go for Jesus to score for Nottingham Forest as well in this one. Sunderland at Manchester City. City's home form would tell you that this should be a home banker, but it's not. It really isn't. Because Sunderland are pulling up trees and are beating and getting points off everybody. They warrant their 6th place in the league table right now, Sunderland. They've drew with Arsenal. They've beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They've took a point at Anfield already this season. Can they go one step further and do the job against Manchester City at the Emirates? It's a tough ask. I think probably too much with there being a double game week. Fancy getting a double game week of Liverpool away and City away. That's a hard week. And I think it might just catch up with Sunderland. And City, who concede goals, will concede again, I think, in this game, but will have too much firepower. I think Haaland scores, it's 2-1 to Manchester City, and that's my next prediction there. Unfortunate for the Black Cats, but look, they can't have a game week like this and get through it, I don't think, with too much. And they've already, I think, making a great account of themselves. I think this one might be one step too far for them, though. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, by the way. But I'm going to go City 2, Sunderland 1. Game number 5, Newcastle at home to Burnley, probably the easiest home banker that you will get. Obviously, Newcastle will be disappointed. They didn't hold on and beat Spurs the other night. That would have been 3 wins in a row for Eddie Outside and really moving up that table. But 2-2 in that game, I cannot see Newcastle not winning this game. They've won the last 3 against Burnley in previous. 74%, probably the biggest margin of home win to away win that we've got with the bookies this weekend so far. I'm going Newcastle to beat Burnley 3-0. Voltemeda will score again, who's in great form and had a great start to his career at Newcastle. I think the Geordies are starting to really pick up now and will make a charge for the European places. So Newcastle 3, Burnley 0. I think it's all doom and gloom from this point on for Burnley, and unfortunately it's going to continue at St James's. 3-0 and moving on. Spurs against Brentford. Spurs home form tells me don't even go there. I'm going to go and play this safe because Brentford's away form is not great either. This has got a 1-1 draw written all over it, surely. The form for both of these sides is so hit and miss. The form you can see there on your screen for Brentford is simply lose away, win at home. Lose away, win at home. That's where it is. But unfortunately for Brentford, it's 2 away games in a row now. So that isn't going to work for them, I don't think. So Brentford, I think, will scrape a draw out of this simply because Tottenham are awful at home. They haven't won in the last 5 and are plummeting down that table at the moment. The bookies have it as a 42 home win. I'm not with that. I mean, only because Brentford's away form is so poor, I think Spurs are the greater odds in this one. But very close between them. Only goal difference separates these two sides this season so far. Brentford actually have more wins than Spurs in the league this season, which is again staggering considering Brentford are 13th. But yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 draw. Thiago will score in this one for Brentford. That is my prediction for that. So that is the Saturday games. The Saturday fixtures are in on that one. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, starting with Brighton versus West Ham. West Ham did a number on Manchester United yesterday. Painful for us United fans. Brighton's home form is very good. Apart from that little blip there against Villa and being 2-0 up, are their alarm bells ringing? I think Danny Welbeck will come back into the side this weekend. He will score, and I think that Brighton will get the 2-0 win. There's just no firepower, and they've got a better defence than Man United Brighton. I think they'll be more organised. They've got their ship in order, and West Ham probably won't be able to handle it. And going off their form, like West Ham have not beaten Brighton in the last 3. The last time these two played, it was a 3-2 win for Brighton down there on the south coast, and I think it'll be the same again. 2-0 Brighton, and Danny Welbeck is going to score. Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Now, Fulham have got a poor record against Palace. Last season, Palace did a double over them, and Fulham didn't even score a goal. So 3-0 and 2-0 it was to Crystal Palace in the previous games last season. And I just don't know. After watching them come back against City the other day, Palace, Fulham, sorry. I actually fancy Fulham. And you know what? This is one of my surprise ones. I'm going to go 2-1 to Fulham. I actually think that Fulham will pull this off. I'm going to go with Raul Jimenez to score for Fulham, 2-1, and Marco Silva will be a happy man on that sideline. And I think he deserves it after that game against Manchester City and that comeback. Now, two teams in horrendous form right now, which is Manchester United and Wolves. 20 points separates Manchester United in 8th and Wolves in 20th. United need a win. United have to win this game. Otherwise, Ruben Amorim should be sacked. I'm just saying that. I've said it all over FUTV. I'm going to continue to say that here as well. This is what Ruben is up against. Only a 53% away win chance with the bookies. Manchester United's record against Wolves is not good either. Wolves did the double over Manchester United last season, which is absolutely ridiculous on its own. Manchester United didn't even register a goal against Wolves last season. 1 win in the last 5 games. So you put them both together. So the last 10 games that these two teams have played combined, there's only been 1 win. And that was Man United's win against Crystal Palace last Sunday. It's absolutely awful form for both. Who is going to come through? Manchester United have picked up 3 draws in the last 5 and 1 win and only 1 defeat. Wolves have lost all 5. Surely this has to be a Manchester United win. I'm going to go Man United to win it. I'm going to go Mbeumo will score. United will take the win 3-1 and finally maybe move up a few places in the league table. It is a tough one to call with United at the moment, but surely even them and their inconsistencies have got enough to beat bleeding Wolves. My God, it can't get any worse. It has to be a win for Manchester United, surely. Let me know what you think on them, everybody. They're my predictions. That's what I see going down this weekend in the Premier League. It's a busy one. It's a tight one. It's a tough one to call, but it's going to be an exciting one. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button on the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.